Hey, just so you know, this one might be a long one because it's nighttime and we don't have to get up in the morning.
Boom.
Dun 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 dun. I can't believe we did Game of Thrones stuff this whole season, and not once did we start with dun 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 dun. Hey, Nakai.
Hey, Blain.
First of her name. Shit, man, there are so many things that we could have used.
Right? Oh.
Oh?
First of her name. Breaker of chains. I'm not breaker of chains.
No.
Maker of sandwiches.
I am Blain. Second of my name. I'm named after an uncle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think it's on the Garrison side, so... Well, it is on that side, but... No, it must have been. Yeah. Second of my name. Gone of hair.
Second.
Grower of beard.
Grower of beard.
So, Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We watched every single episode.
We did.
We've been on a 10-year journey. It's all over now. What did you think? As a whole.
As a whole.
As a whole.
I loved the series.
Okay.
I loved everything about the series.
All right.
Because it took you on a journey.
Yes. Will you watch the series again?
Yes.
There you go. 5 out of 5. We'll watch again. Thanks. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no, I was thinking about that as PMB. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, it's not morning.
It's not morning.
Because tomorrow's a holiday.
And I'm sleeping in, motherfucker.
And we would have took the day off, but...
But it was Sunday.
Yeah, and we've been doing this Game of Thrones thing. We might as well just keep going.
The last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because there was only 6 episodes.
So, it's all over now. We... like 10 minutes before it started, we realized we didn't do the thing we said we were going to do.
Yeah.
The day of, and binge the final season leading up to.
Yep.
Yeah, we did not do that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
However, that's okay.
We could watch it tomorrow.
No, we have stuff to do tomorrow.
Do we?
Yeah, we're cleaning out the garage.
That was not on my action item list.
We discussed it in the car when we went to Sobeys, and you're like, yeah, that's a good thing to do tomorrow.
No, that's not what we said. No. We talked about getting rid of some shit. That is different than cleaning out the fucking garage.
We're going to be in the garage tomorrow.
Okay, no. Anyway.
We'll see.
We're on holidays.
I gave you 2 days off.
You can play your video game.
We'll talk. So
it's all over now, right?
It is all over now, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Why not?
Because I don't like how they ended it.
No, you're wrong. You know why? Sam lives!
Sam does live. Yes.
Sam lives!
Yeah, Sam lives.
That's all I care about. Show was a success.
Ari lives. Sansa lives.
I could have come to grips with losing anybody if Sam died. And they alluded to it at the beginning of this season.
Yes. There was...
Don't you want to know how I felt about it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, fuck would I want to know what you felt about it?
They might.
They don't get a choice.
Okay. All right, carry on then.
Let me get my dagger out and...
I liked it.
He's wrong.
No, I am. The whole season as a whole, after watching this episode, I like it. I like the way it ended. We haven't even been drinking tonight.
No. You can't drink on Game of Thrones night.
I can too. I didn't, but I could have.
Well, yeah, because we don't work tomorrow. Anyways, I felt unsatisfied with it.
How? Like I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying because I'm trying to figure out once I go on social media and everybody's crying because they could have made a better show.
I don't think I could have made a better show. I'm
not talking about you specifically, but you know what it's like. It's like 1 million fans signed a petition to redo season. It's like, make your own fucking show. I had a 3-sentence idea that would be better. I don't think that's how making a 10-year TV show works.
No.
An 8-season.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works. And now that I know where we ended up at the end of this, now the season makes sense. Because I told you, I was thinking about this right before when I was pooping. You know, I had to have my pre Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because there was no way I was pausing it to let you shit.
Yeah.
It's like, shit your pants. That's.
Which one of you cowards shit my pants? Right. No, okay, no, I was, after I know where it goes, I was like, all right, because you knew Daenerys had to go. And, this is what I thought of when I was taking a shit. You know, the reason we liked her is because we didn't like the people in those other towns she conquered.
Yes, that's true.
But if you look back at it, I don't think it's that far out of step for her character. Now, now you think about it, now you're kind of over because, I mean, like, I adore Emilia Clarke.
I know, she is so cute.
Like, I just want to walk up, and I just want to give her a little squeeze, tell her she's great, and then get out of her way. Like,
Or, just, like, fold her up and put her in your pocket.
Yeah.
She's just so adorable.
Oh, she's so adorable. I just want to collect her like Pokemon and trade her with my friends.
Right.
That could be, now that I've said it out loud, I'm never saying that about a person again.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, serially...
Yeah.
Killerish.
Yeah.
But
serially?
Serial killerish.
Yeah.
For the journey of this last season, yes. But it's still left...
I think, I'm saying full journey. Episode 1 to episode, this one.
200.
Yeah. No, it's only... Oh, fuck. I figured this out once. It was 80 episodes?
Something like that. Anyways,
no, it's less than.
It's less than...
73 episodes, I think. Okay, anyway, sorry. I was making a noise like you, eh? Like an anteater.
I don't sound like an anteater.
I looked up a video once.
Anyways, the journey from the very beginning to the very end, I liked. Because I liked the development of each character. Because it actually drew you in and you actually loved or hated these people. Mm-hmm. Like...
Well, and then... Like, shout out to Lena? Is that how you pronounce it? It's the lady who played Cersei, right?
She fucking nailed it.
There was 2 moments in that entire show where I felt bad for that bitch. I'm talking about Cersei, not the actress who played her. The actress who played her is probably a cool chick.
Yes, I like the interviews with her.
Yeah. But, what I can edit that out so I sound smart. But am I gonna? No, like, the shame. Shame. Yes. With the ding. By the time she got back, I'm like, even the second time, I'm like, oh man, like, you just feel bad for her, and she's gonna come back, and she's been humbled, and then the mountain picks her up, and she gets that look on her face, and I'm like, oh, no.
She's coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And I did feel bad with her when she...
I shouldn't say feel bad, but all of a sudden I was just like, oh, I'm a little sad that Cersei's dead.
Yes. But she nailed that character. Like, you hated her.
Right, but you also understood her. Like, when she blew up the Septon.
which was fantastically done.
Now I just want to like sidetrack here.
Because that's not what
we don't have anywhere to be, so this one might be a long one.
Yeah.
Just so you know, right? You know what? Let's put this clip after we're done. No, let's do a clip right now. I'll put it in at the beginning. And then it'll transition really nice.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll look really smart if I didn't leave this part in.
Anyways, so okay.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Yeah. My point was seriously there is like as much as you hated her, there was. I'm not gonna say like if you were in her position you'd do it too. Like there was like it wasn't just that she was evil. She had.
But she was also like that mama bear to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like somebody was gonna mess with her kids, and she's gonna
yeah.
fuck you up.
Yeah. Well, and
I mean, if I had the power to blow up a city, if someone was gonna fuck with my kid, you know damn well I'd do it.
But you wouldn't, just in case the city blows up.
Oh yeah, just in case the city. I wouldn't actually blow up the city.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of
This
power.
is not admissible in court. It's for entertainment purposes only. Yeah. Okay, sorry. You were saying no.
If the city blows up, oh my god. Hopefully.
Let's just.
Okay, keep going.
Let's just pretend we didn't say it.
Okay.
Okay.
However, it is a little creepy with the whole brother-sister thing.
Yeah. Closer to home. If you haven't seen it, Google the Coldplay Game of Thrones musical. It's actually hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, it was actually really good. I have so many unanswered questions.
Like what?
Like, is John leaving?
Oh yeah. Like
With
is
the
he going
wildlings?
on a patrol or is he just gonna go live up north? Is there even a Night's Watch to take with him?
That's the other thing, because all you seen was wildlings.
Yeah, and him,
Yeah.
right?
So, and
I
what
did-
about the dragon?
Gone.
Poof, gone.
It's okay. Bran the Broken will find him.
Yes, because he's the three-eyed raven. And I love that they decided that he was going to be king, and he's sitting and, well, are you going to do it? It's like, why do you think I traveled all this way?
Yeah, no, but he also knew, like, if he, like, sat there and said, I'm gonna be king, it would fuck up the whole plan.
Yes.
Right? No.
Yeah.
And I like Tyrion as the Hand of the King. I love that Sam is the Archmaester. I love that. I love that Bronn's still around.
And Sir Brianna of Toth.
Yeah, see, Sir Brienne. Yeah.
And Sir Podrick.
Yes.
Yes, I like that they knighted Podrick.
Yeah.
And Master of Coins is Bronn.
Bronn,
Like
makes
that
sense.
is, it's funny.
Yeah, and then they start actually bickering because it's, to me, this is not a happily ever after ending.
No, because there is, it's not happy at all. Because
And in many ways, it's not an ending. Like, if they wanted to and come back and said, like, all right. In 10 years, we're doing a series that takes place 10 years after this.
And you could, because it's like, all right, so Sansa is Queen of the North, which she'll, that girl, the journey she went on.
Yeah.
Like, if you took apart each one of them and just looked at their particular stories.
Well, the thing about this show and why I could get away with it, or this series in general, like, written by
R. Martin,
Yeah, George Martin. Yeah.
Because you could follow Jon past the wall. You could follow Arya.
Not just that, but, like, the main character of the book dies in the first book or season. I don't know where it was in the book, right? But, like, like, you know what I mean? So, like, the main characters all died.
Or and who you thought were
and what seemed like secondary characters became your main characters. And it is a show where it's like your typical hero, this is all, bastards and cripples and broken things and like imps and dwarves, sorry. But like, it's all...
No, he's Tyrion the Imp.
I know, but like... But he is a dwarf.
In real real life, yeah.
He's a dwarf in the show too.
I know, but in the show he's called.
I don't understand why you started arguing with me about this. Are you like upset that I said dwarf?
Yeah.
I didn't like overwrite imp. I was adding to it.
Okay.
Because the imp is one dwarf, but there are more dwarfs. Not in this show, but you know what I mean. There was.
Yeah, there was.
But you know what I mean. Like it's. Well, I mean, look at it that way, right? Tyrion from episode 1 to the last episode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jon Snow, the bastard, from episode 1 to Jon Snow, the bastard, at the end of the show.
Yeah, first season, it's like, I'm going to the wall, I'm going to take the black. And then he ends up back at the wall, taking the black.
It's kind of funny. I just had this thought, so I don't know if it's going to work out. Okay? But we met Jon in the first episode. He says, I'm going up north. Mm-hmm. He ends the show up north. Mm-hmm. Ari's going to go what's west of Westeros. She's going with it. Yeah. Sansa's supposed to be the queen. She's the queen.
Of the north.
Hey? Like, I thought that bit was a little cheesy. It was just like, okay, really? He's going to like rule the 6 kingdoms and you're... Like, I mean, can't Bran sit there and go, actually, I'm king of the north?
Well, because technically he is the eldest, the oldest.
I did love.
Living...
Yeah. Oh, also I did love fucking Sam's like, oh, you know, we could start a democracy, and I'm like, if they start a democracy, that's gonna be so fucking cheesy, and then everybody just laughs at him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that. That was good.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. Let's get to the big moment of the episode.
When Jon stabbed Daenerys in the heart?
Yeah. Stomach,
okay,
whatever it was. But, like, off camera during a kiss. Because we were both like, because I wasn't wearing my hearing aids. I'm like, did he just... Like, I thought it at the exact same time that you said it. And then I was curious about the dragon because... Like, I don't know what would happen if the dragon tried to burn Jon, because he's a Targaryen too.
Yeah, that's true.
So what, I actually, as much as it was like a cheesy, symbolic thing, I loved that the Game of Thrones melted. Or the
Iron Throne.
Iron Throne, yes, sorry. I did. I kind of enjoyed how it just fucking melted that.
And it was kind of like symbolic too. It's like, okay, so she dies, her dragon's sad, and her dragon knew that that's what was her end. Like, that's what she wanted.
Like, if she can't have it, no one can. Or
yeah.
I don't know what...
I'm not sure what the writers were thinking there, but it was beautifully done.
Well, speaking of the writers, you brought it up. I gotta say, like, I really hope that Gurm... George R.R.M. G.R.R.M. Gurm. I really hope that Gurm... I am curious, how is the next 2 books going to go?
Is the way the show went going to influence his writing?
No. That much, after, like, checking out some interviews with him, I am, like, fairly sure, no.
It would be interesting to see how... he finishes the story.
Right. Because, like, is this where he plans on going? Mm-hmm. And because he's been involved with the show.
Right, because he wanted to keep his characters true after the books were... Right? Mm-hmm. And it's interesting...
Because I even heard an interview with him where they said, did the characters change in your mind? And he says, no. I love the Lord of the Rings movies, but in my head, this character I read about when I was 13 did not look like Viggo Mortensen or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he starts going, because he used to write TV pilots, so I think he respects television, and he's like, of course, this is what they had to do. They have a set, they have a this, they have a that, and... I get it quite easy because if I can think it, all I have to do is write it down in a way that's understandable, and poof, it exists.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas TV people have to actually make it exist. Like the actual throne, Iron Throne. I keep calling it the Game of Thrones. The Iron Throne.
How he describes it in the book is way too massive to have built on a set.
And they do allude to it more than once about the size of the throne and how, you hear it's so big and it doesn't look that big in real life, right?
Well, yeah, like when Danny's in the room and she's like, when I was a little girl and a throne
could only count to 20.
Could only count to 20,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be this throne of 1,000 swords. I thought it would be bigger.
When Danny said, I forget the exact line, but when she's like, I get to choose what's good, that was when John knew.
That and you could see it on his face.
And I was kind of sitting there. I was wondering because like if he went home to the north and came back to go to war with Daenerys, even if they skirted over it real quick, like that's not, he couldn't.
No.
And
the way, because you could see it on his face, like the moment his mind was made up, when she's like, well, the line that you could see it on his face change was, they don't get a choice.
Yeah.
Because when he's like, well, who chooses what's, what's right for, or what's good to you?
Yeah, because there's a lot of other people who think they also know what's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, when she was like, they don't get a choice.
Yeah.
And that's when he's like,
because she would.
Yeah.
She was, and we saw the whole journey, the transformation from, I am the queen, I am the this, but she ate a fucking horse heart.
yes.
All right? She locked people in a room and burnt them to death.
Well, you have to.
She made a deal with a guy, and then the thing that she sold to the traded one of her dragons, and then the dragon burnt the guy.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot where you're kind of sitting there going like, I don't, now that I've seen it play out this way, I don't think Dany could have gone any other way.
No.
I think she had to break bad because
that was actually her character the entire time.
Yeah, like if you go back, and this is why I want to watch the show again one day, because I think it'd be interesting to go back and actually watch it and, just see. Because I think this, now that we're talking about it, I think this has been alluded to
a few times, yeah.
More than people think, because we wanted to like her, because she's cool.
Well, and not only
and
that.
we didn't like Cersei. And then all of a sudden it was like, and the scene with the bells, after seeing it all play out,
yeah,
I was like, oh, okay, I get it, right?
It was, yeah, because you could go back and you could see how it progressed to her burning down the city, because it was, all right, so, and Tyrion says it beautifully in the last episode, she freed, or she destroyed the slavers at Slaver's Bay.
Yeah.
And they were evil men.
Yeah, we didn't like them.
Yeah.
She crucified 160 people, and we didn't like them, so we cheered for her. And I kind of had that same thought. I was like, she's actually a pretty bad bitch.
She is, and it's just because.
Now she came to it's like, but we know those people. We like those people.
That those people aren't.
Yeah, like the King's Landing people, like.
Like the King's Landing people, they weren't evil, and she's like, well, Cersei used their innocence as a weapon against me.
Yeah.
And she did. Like,
she by that point, Dany was bloodthirsty, and I think she thought it was too easy of a victory. Like she was
ready for a fight.
Well, she was not ready for a fight. She was ready to burn that whole fucking town down, which she did.
Yes.
And
it was she couldn't go any other way, because if she had if she had just accepted the surrender, and
that would have been the end of the show.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have
fit in with everything that that we've seen in this show. Like this
Yeah.
show doesn't go the same way as everything else. It's not. I'm not going to use the term as not predictable, but
They don't try and Hollywoodize it as much as some of the other ones.
and they I think the thing I liked the best about it was there was little bits here and there, but for the most part it wasn't fan service. It was, here is the show.
Mm-hmm. Hate it or love it, but this is...
This is the story, and I think it felt like they stayed true to the story they wanted to tell, because at some point they branched off from the books for certain reasons, right? And Ghost with the no ear, poor puppy.
He's a wolf.
Yeah. No, honey. They're all puppies.
It was... I liked how it ended, but I don't like how it ended because I wanted more. Right? I just wanted that little bit more. But that's what makes a good story, is you always...
Well, this one to me, I think is kind of more like The Sopranos in a way, whereas the Sopranos just started at a random moment and ended at a random moment in this dude's life.
Yes.
Right? And the story, you know, for all its ups and downs, like it wasn't a beginning, middle, and end type story. It was, here's a chunk of life.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of the same thing, where it's like it starts on this day and it ends on this day. This is what happened in Westeros.
Yes.
And it wasn't...
It didn't tie up all the loose ends and
but
no.
I mean, but I mean too was like everybody who lived through it made sense for the most part. There's a couple of parts I know, like if I know 1,000 nerds with 1,000 keyboards are nitpicking the fuck out of this, and probably a complaint I see was, why did Grey Worm leave Tyrion alive? Why did Grey Worm just accept that there's a new king? Like, I could see, and to be, that is a fair point. I'm like, I don't understand what Grey Worm, like, he seems like he would have, I don't know.
because there's that chunk that we didn't get explained. Because all of a sudden it was Dany's dead, and then Tyrion's being taken in front of the...
Yeah, and we could tell that he'd been there for a while, right?
So there is that chunk of a few weeks that they don't explain to you. So but again, that makes you go, okay, so you can play the story how you see it in your own mind. And
Yeah.
that,
Well, I mean, I guess because the people sitting around weren't, they weren't Dany's enemies.
right.
Yet. Right? Like, I guess so. I mean, I'm not nitpicking with it, but it would be the thing. I'm like, okay, I kind of want to just know a little bit more about... Because I thought Grey Worm was becoming, like, the House of the Unsullied, and they were going to sit down and make that choice, too. Didn't they say something like that?
They did, but that was not his queen's...
That ain't me, girl.
Right. Basically, like, it was like,
Yeah.
no, my people are...
My house, my rules.
But, you know, my people are this, and... Is it dying?
Yeah, my vape's dead.
But he was... You could see his progression, too. He's always been bloodthirsty. Because that's what the Unsullied were raised as.
I don't know if he was bloodthirsty per se. He did not have a fear. And I think Grey Worm was also confused because no one was telling him what to do.
Yeah.
And now that I think about it, could be a good reason why Tyrion lived, because nobody told him what to do. And as much as he was not a slave under Dany, he was still... You know, like that does, there's been a few stories about stuff like that in real life where certain, like, it's like, hey, you're free now. Alright, cool, what do I do? Right?
Yeah. Well, you look at people who come out of prison. After being in there for 10, 15, 20 years.
But I mean, like, actual, like, slavery. Like, this happened to certain nations that were liberated and they didn't know what to do because they didn't have a dictator anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's...
Yeah.
So... he
So
was...
yeah, he probably, he knew what he wanted to do, but nobody told him he could.
Basically.
I understand.
Yeah, it was...
Why do I keep doing this? It's dead now.
There was...
You gonna be okay?
I'm gassy. Leave me alone. At least I'm not farting.
Nah, there's that.
No, there's a lot of things that, you're left with questions, but
none of them to me are the why didn't they answer that questions. They're just questions that just don't really have answers.
And that's how in real life is too, though, right?
Yeah,
like there are
yeah.
some things that you're like, well, I want to know why.
Yeah.
I want to, but there isn't a why. There isn't an explanation for it, right?
Yeah.
So, no, I think watching, looking back on the beginning of the season to this last episode, they played it out beautifully.
I think it works as much as it was a slice of life in Westeros for 10 years. I do like the way I like it as a complete. I like it as a story arc.
Yeah.
With the ups and the downs and the why is this character doing that? Oh yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. And
Cersei, Arya, Brienne, we've seen them all make choices. Jaime Lannister,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's got a redemption arc. Oh no, he's going back to Cersei.
Right. There's just, I don't know. Watching how it ended, I'm conflicted because I enjoyed the story they told and I enjoyed how it was done. But I want more. I want more.
No, I get that. Because they did kind of...
And I so wanted Dany to be so much better, but...
But when you think about it, I don't know. Dany had to flip heel. You know what I mean? Now that I really think about it, because Dany flipped heel and Jon didn't.
Yeah, well...
Jon Snow is basically the John Cena of Westeros.
Because you...
I wish I was wearing my John Cena shirt.
Yeah.
But no, there are certain storytelling things where it's okay, here is the one guy who was honest and true throughout the whole thing. And he made mistakes too. Jon as a character, they really fleshed it out in a way that I like because he kept thinking he was doing the right thing.
Yes. And
he got killed for it.
Yep.
He just about got killed again for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
He got sent to the wall twice.
Well, first time he went on his own.
Fair enough.
But no, it was... Him as a character was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was that true to his word and very...
Whereas Daenerys, we saw her spiral into madness.
And there were times when she was true to her word.
Mm-hmm.
Everything she said, she did.
Mm-hmm.
It was just... When you listen to what she actually had to say, it was you're not as good as you think you are. Right. Because...
Oh, and it was a long journey before the heel flip, but it did, to me, it did make sense.
Seeing the progression and seeing how it ended, yes.
Although, if you'd have told me, first episode, okay, let's just pretend, right?
Yeah.
I watched one episode. It ends with Bran getting pushed out the window. And then you spoil the whole series for me and you're like, he ends up king at the end. There's no way I would have fucking believed you, even up until the point where they made him king.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and just
if you told me, Ned, they're going to cut his head off at the end of this season. Oh, fuck off.
Or, Dany's going to burn down King's Landing.
Yeah. All the innocent people. Yeah. No, Jon Snow, he's actually a Targaryen.
Yeah, like there are so many things that you're like.
I remember saying, like, there was one point I'm like, fuck, you know what sucks? We're never gonna know who John's mom was.
Yeah.
Right?
And then it's like, oh no, we knew who was right because we didn't know.
Yeah, because Ned never told them, right?
Right.
And it wasn't till the last couple of seasons where
Bran's like.
When Bran started becoming the three-eyed
Raven. Yeah. But there are so many things that you still want answers to, like what, how, like.
I know, you have so many questions, you can't even say them.
I do. Like the three-eyed raven. What's with that? What happened to the children of summer? Like, are they all gone? Can the White Walkers come back? Because they've, like...
I was upset when the White Walker thing went down, because I was like, really? Like, this was the bit... But after seeing it all play out, I get it now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know?
But it still would have been... It would have totally been a different story.
But, I mean, a lot of the things you're talking about, like, what if the White Walkers come back? Okay, get back to me in 10 years. What if, like, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, okay, get back to me in 10 years, and we'll see.
Well, and that's, like, what's the Beyond the Wall like now?
Right?
Right? Like, now that there is no White Walkers.
Yeah. Or so we think.
Or so we think, because...
Because just because the Night King, right, he couldn't have been the only White Walker the Children of Men made, or whoever the fuck they were.
Children of Summer.
Yeah, when I said Children of Men, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean? Like...
Because there has to be more than just...
Well, there could be.
There could be.
Right?
And that's the beauty of this whole story is you can go back and go, well...
If they really wanted to, they could just keep doing this show. The way that The Walking Dead wanted to, The Walking Dead was just like, okay, well, we're just gonna follow Rick throughout the zombie apocalypse, and I think that's where Walking Dead went wrong, is they picked a central guy.
And
whereas... But if Walking Dead was just like, all right, we're just gonna keep telling a story about an opposed. I mean, I don't know. I fell off that show on season 2, but
yeah.
But I actually, you know what? That's kind of what has been going through my head a little bit too, is just comparing it to other endings. Like why are they all in a church?
Yes. For those of you who don't know, that's Lost. Watch it. You'll love it.
And if you missed the last season, that's fine. But no, Lost is one of those shows where, like, I watch it, I love all of it, right? Like I'll throw that on as my nighttime show again, right?
Yeah. Because that's another one where you rewatch it and you're like,
oh yeah.
Or
and then
you
get
miss
to
things.
the end, and you get to the end and you're like, oh, I'm confused.
But that's another show that's totally different.
But I like this ending a lot better than Sons of Anarchy.
Oh my god, yes!
Like, the ending of Sons of Anarchy, that last episode, is enough to make me not rewatch that series.
I know.
And I gotta say, the thing about Game of Thrones, too, kind of like a Battlestar Galactica, is because it's otherworldly, right? Like, certain things in Sons of Anarchy or Breaking Bad or some of those other good shows, it's not going to hold up because eventually, like, it's going to be old.
Well, and it's going to be a repetitive thing, right? Well, I don't
mean repetitive thing, but I mean, like Sons of Anarchy took place in the time frame it did. Yeah. And so when you get 20, 30 years down in the future, it's like, oh yeah, I remember cell phones. I remember burner phone, shit like that, right?
Well, but with Game of Thrones, you could do a spin-off and see what was happening with Dorne. Mm-hmm. Or you could see the Vale.
They had 5 spin-off projects they were working on. They were down to 3 and one's supposed to be filming already. Which
would be cool.
And I think the one that's supposed to be filming is like 300 years before. But I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's all I really have to say.
That's all?
Yeah.
I don't understand. You're like, I don't like it, but I like it. But I don't like it. I have questions. But none of them seem like plot hole questions. They seem like they seem like you're mad that the screen cut to black.
Yeah.
And we don't know who walked into the restaurant with Tony.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's why I'm conflicted. It's like, because I love the story.
Yeah.
I just want more.
Yeah, no, I'm now that the whole thing has played out, I'm still happy with the whole show and would watch the entire
And I'm
thing
hoping
again.
that once people watch the final episode, they're like, quit it, it's dead.
I don't care if people like it.
But, to appreciate the show for what it is instead of what you want it to be, because, I mean, if it was what I wanted it to be.
The problem is nerds. Yeah, we live in a society where everybody gets everything they want, so they think that they should just... And it's just like, I don't like talking about Star Wars with people. I don't like talking about Game of Thrones with people. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I like talking, people, right? But, like, when you see all the, like, snarky comments on everything, you're just like, oh, yeah, no, totally would have been better if you made it. Right?
No, it was...
Or,
just
the other
more.
thing? The other thing? Fuck you, everybody who's like, never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. I hear, when you talk about Game of Thrones, like you make a comment, you hear more from those people. It's like, so what?
There's lots of shows I've never watched a single episode of The Walking Dead.
Nah, you're not missing much. I never watched, we started Mad Men, but...
What's another one?
But you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if somebody says something about a show I don't watch, I just carry on. I don't have, like, I don't understand that. I've never seen it. All right. What else do you have to add to the conversation?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if we're having a conversation, like I know Mar has been like, I've never seen it. Like, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, I literally got, like, spammed with comments from people I hardly hear from just to let me know, never seen a Game of Thrones episode, I don't plan on it. All right, enjoy life. Fuck.
Yeah. Congratulations. You've never, like...
I know you enjoy those Marvel movies. You can have them.
Yeah.
I watched the first one, I watched the last one, I watched a few in between. I'm good.
Yeah. But
here's the ultimate comparison. Better ending to a 10-year journey. Roughly about the same runtime, even. All the Marvel movies, starting from Iron Man to Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Game of Thrones. Which one had the better ending?
Oh, Game of Thrones by far.
Fuck yeah! Don't get me wrong. They hit some emotional... You know what? I was happy to watch Endgame because it was that moment of like, okay, spoilers. I know we're spoiling the fuck out of Game of Thrones, but I don't know. I don't care about spoilers.
No, I don't care anymore. Yeah. Tony Stark dies.
Yeah.
Just jump right in there.
But you know what I mean? I felt like, I'm like, all right, you know what? I can deal with that.
I cried like a baby.
I saw Iron Man. I liked Iron Man. Iron Man was kind of what kept bringing me back to those shows. And Iron Man's dead. And I can just... And
the other one...
Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to lie. The new Spider-Man trailer made me go, oh, maybe I need to watch the Spider-Man movies.
Another movie that had that finality, whatever, was Wolverine.
Logan?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was...
Yeah, that was kind of there's certain things where it's like, okay, we've had this time, we've had ups and downs, I've enjoyed it, I've not enjoyed it, and now it's just put to rest and we can move on and tell a different story.
Yeah. They
could have done with Batman, but it was a metaphorical death at the end of death.
We're not talking about Batman. Okay. I did cry at Logan, though. Camera's still running.
I know, but we should probably let them go.
Oh. Yeah.
Because the people who like Game of Thrones, or who watch Game of Thrones, they have their own opinion. Right? Like, they're not going to now that Blain said I should get over it and like the show, I like it. It doesn't work that way.
Well, Blain
Right?
said.
Yeah, Blain
You
said.
don't get a choice.
Yeah. Lame. By the way, shout out to the Raptors. Fucking pulled off a double OT win tonight.
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, I don't, the funny thing is when you make a video like this that nobody made it to the end, I don't really know how to end it.
Oh, anime.
We could leave like 10 seconds of black like they did in the... This is going to be really weird because I'm probably not going to edit in the black screen. I just thought it'd be funny the faces we were making.
You have to edit in the black screen.